think you are?
Ready for a good time? Who do you think you are?
Now here's something completely random.
Animals in action, animals in action.
Random.
We using that in the intro?
Dyesswoman Enterprises exclusively presents.
Who do you think you are?
Who do you think you are?
A talk show about everything that means absolutely nothing.
Thank you and good night!
How about that?
And now here's your host for the weirdest name of a show ever, some random guy on a mic.
Some random guy on a mic. That would be me, a.k.a. the Dice Man. Welcome into another edition of Who Do You Think You Are? Of course, welcome back to the mic. It's Dyesswoman on mic 2.
Yeah, I'm the Hunchback of Notre Dame.
You're saying that because we're on YouTube.
No, I'm saying that because I'm hunched over.
Oh, yeah.
Talking on the mic.
I told you I could have got a different mic.
And you know what? We could
stand
probably
for you.
use some books, like to raise it up a little bit.
Do you see that mic stand right there?
How about
It's
it?
huge.
What does that mean?
I mean, look at it. It's tall. I mean, I could have used that one if you wanted to. That's why I asked you.
Oh, I didn't know you could use that.
Yeah, you can do anything. Why do we always start our shows this way with random talk? I guess that's what we do. Anyway, welcome into the program. I forgot what the last episode number was, but
Good. I'm glad you finally forgot.
I think it's 36 or something like that.
No, man.
It's got to be 36. Welcome into the program. I'm so glad you guys tuned in. We got to give a shout out to Lena
Garcia.
I almost said Munoz. I messed it up. Munoz.
Whatever.
Hernandez.
Hernandez. Yeah.
Anyway, Lena, she's out there in KC, hooking it up, doing whatever. She said she actually enjoyed the show. She liked watching us on the YouTubes and listening to the show.
She actually said that she was sad because she went to go look for new content and we had zero.
She did. So that motivated me to come back home and do a show after our, what do you call this? This whirlwind of, we've been on tour.
Yeah.
We've been on tour.
Tour without doing anything and getting paid for it. Is this okay? Does this look stupid?
We won't know until we watch it on YouTube. So
I'm sure it looks pretty stupid.
Well, anyway.
This is the new Dice Man Studios.
That's true. Dice Man Studios, we relocated so we could have a little more room.
Actually, it's Who Do You Think You Are Studios.
Should we do that?
Well, yeah. It can't just be Dice Man because I'm Dice Woman. I'm not Dice Man.
Well, I know that, but I've always called it Dice Man Studios.
No, you haven't.
I have too. Dice Man Studios, Dice Man Enterprises. Yes. We'll go back and listen to shows. You'll hear it throughout our shows or whatever.
We say that, but we don't have anything really in concrete.
You mean like a studio? Well, you say that because nobody see. Well, we're on YouTube now because when you say we're in studio, somebody visually thinks, hey, they're in a studio with microphones and a board, and a guy with behind some glass and producing stuff, and that's really not the case,
right?
At all.
Concrete.
Welcome into the program. Already did that. Shout outs to everyone listening in KC.
How do you shout out to everyone?
I'll just do it, just like I just did.
Okay.
You can reach me Twitter at Dice Man. We're on Instagram as well. Who Do You Think You Are podcast, and we also have a Facebook page. You can reach out to us there. If you can't find any of that because you can't remember it because you're jogging down the street listening to this podcast, just go to dyesswoman.com and you'll find all the social media that you could ever want on our webpage. Okay, let's catch the listeners up. Where have we been? Since we here's what we did last time. We talked about Wonder Woman and everybody was in an uproar about her not having armpit
hair.
Okay.
Armpit hair.
Yeah, help me out. That's why I got a co-host. So we talked about that. That was pretty stupid. Since then, we've seen the movie. Of course, I wasn't looking for. I was not looking for hair under the arm at all.
I was looking for shade. I was looking for just a little bit of. Yeah.
You mean like a 5 o'clock chat on a guy? Yes. Looking for that? Yeah, it wasn't
I was
there.
looking for no.
So you think they purposely blotted that out when she lifted up her arms and threw that truck down the street?
Why would you blot? They don't have to. Women shave their pits. So it is that white.
I mean, there's no sun under there. Nobody tan. Even in a tanning booth, do people raise their arms up?
Of course they do.
Why would you tan under there?
Because you don't want to be
dust.
like two-tone.
Nobody sees under there unless you're throwing a car down the street.
They see what girls. Hey! Oh my gosh! Look at that. Yeah.
Oh, because y'all do the sleeveless stuff.
Well, yeah.
I could never go sleeveless.
You used to.
Well, yeah. If you got muscles.
Yeah.
So we saw the movie. We thought it was great. It was fantastic. I think it's a great addition to the DC extended universe.
The best addition to the DC.
I think to date is the best movie.
I'm excited about what's next.
I'm excited about Aquaman standalone. That's going to be good.
Yeah.
He's not going to be making hamburgers back at the or ham sandwiches for the rest of the crew back at the Justice League.
I wonder if he'll have armpit hair.
Well, he's got scales. I think he's like a merman or something.
No, he doesn't have scales.
Yeah, remember the orange that wasn't a shirt, that was scales, dude.
No, that was a suit.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay. I thought you were serious.
Anyway, but he is a king, Atlantis. He's an Atlantean.
Right.
So they have underwater. They live underwater.
See, it is real. Atlantis is real.
Told you.
I told you.
Told you. So that's coming out, and then Justice League's coming out right before Aquaman. I don't know the dates on that, but we saw another movie that we were quite excited about. Spider-Man: Homecoming came out, which was from the Marvel universe. So we love both DC and Marvel. We don't hate one.
We don't discriminate.
Yeah, we don't hate one or like the other. And this, no, we can't do that. Some people are like that with Star Trek and Star Wars. We don't do that
That's
either.
exactly
I don't
what I was
understand
gonna
that
say.
either.
Yeah.
We're good with all of that. We're just nerds all the way around.
I'm not a nerd.
So Homecoming was great. Here's why I loved. Everybody's kind of another reboot. Some people didn't know because some of the people I talked to at work were like, "Hey, I'm going to see Spider-Man." Oh, they did another one? Like they didn't know and they didn't understand why we're rebooting again. But he's never been in this universe. All of the Tobey Maguire, the Andrew Garfield, they were in Spider-Man. And in their world, they didn't know who Iron Man was. They didn't know who Thor or Hulk or Captain America. They didn't know any of those people.
Right. It was just like, I'm Spider-Man.
I'm the only freak in the world right now with superpowers. That's why it was great for Homecoming and him to get under the Marvel Cinematic Universe umbrella, because now he is in that universe. He knows all these people and they can interact together.
Well, did they even see the Civil War?
Who?
The ones that you talked about and said...
Probably not. I think they're nerds on a different level. There's some... It was Tim Shepard.
Okay.
So
you almost said lerds.
Lerds?
Didn't
What would
you?
that be? Like
loser nerd? I don't know.
Well, he's big into Game of Thrones, so I'm sure that's nerdish, maybe.
When he likes
it's a cult following.
The anime thing. I just... If you've seen Civil War, how can you not know that the Spider-Man was going to be different? You know what I'm saying? I mean, you just had to know that it was going to be different.
Right. How did you not know that there was going to be... Oh, they're making another one. Oh, yeah, if you follow anything on the Marvel, maybe some people don't follow it as closely as we do.
Right.
Maybe. What else were the takeaways? I think it had every aspect except for the tech suit. That hasn't been a lot in the comics, except I have read on the internet that the suit that was at the end, they call that the Iron Spider, which was Tony Stark did create that. So he created him a suit for the Civil War. So I think it does tie into the comips, but
how much do you think...
I liked it because he doesn't have a lot of money.
How much do you think that the... God, I'm such a nerd right now. How much do you think that the cinematic universe has changed the actual comic books? You think any at all?
That's a good question. I don't think it goes reverse. Because most everything is... It's not going to change, because you got your comic book, which is canon. Like, for instance, they would say Spider-Man got bit by a radioactive spider. Mm-hmm. And that's not going to change.
Right.
They didn't change. Of course, people tried to do that with the Hulk. They completely changed his origin story. Ang Lee, remember that? That was a fail.
Oh, stupid.
Yeah. So I don't think they would... Well, they did try to change a little bit, but it's in the movies. They'll never go back. If they did something in the movies, I don't think they'll go back, hey, let's write that in the comics.
Well, I mean, like the Iron Spider. When did that come about?
That wasn't the comics.
You're right, but when? When did that come about?
That's only... We could sit here and Google that real quick, but...
Well, I mean, I don't care that deep, but I'm just saying...
But it was way before... I mean, Civil War has been out for a while.
But when?
Years. Before Iron Man, the first Iron Man. That's 2008. That's way... I mean, it's the story's been created, so...
I mean, because I think that the old Spider-Man movies were based on the old comic books before they had all the techno.
Are you talking about Andrew and Tobey Maguire?
Tobey Maguire. I'm not talking about Andrew Garfield. I'm talking about, I think.
No, they botched that up because there was no, he didn't have web shooting
I know
from
that,
his hand.
but I'm saying as far as the suit goes and all that kind of stuff, there wasn't the techie part of it that is in the new Spider-Man.
That Iron Man created, Tony Stark, the tech suit.
Right.
No, they didn't have it. He created his own suit.
Right.
And that's comic book lore.
Yeah, I think that's what they were going for. Sony was going for that kind of stuff. They weren't going for the new techie,
Well, I think a lot of it launched from because the story Civil War, they
drug Spider-Man into.
Well, I mean, he was in that X-Men, everybody was in it.
What
in
are
Civil
we doing
War.
here, man? I can't believe I'm
Everybody was in Civil War. And
Wolverine. Wasn't Wolverine in Civil War?
Yes, absolutely. It was the movie Civil War, loosely based on
the comic
book story. Of course, the comic was huge. They could never tell the story in movie form because it goes in series.
So big.
Well, it's series, man. It's like tons of storytelling.
Oh yeah.
But a lot of it came from, and that's why they brought Spider-Man the way they did. The Tony Stark, here's the tech, and I thought it was great.
It was a great movie. I loved it. I loved every single thing about it. It was in my idea of a movie. It was perfect because I don't like the drawn out talky. I'm just not interested in that. I like to see the action. I don't mind talking. For instance, the one where Black Widow and
Winter
Captain
Soldier.
America. Yes. Oh my!
I went back and watched that. I still don't get it.
It was just too much.
It's perfect dialogue. I don't understand
No, it was just too much dialogue.
I've seen more dialogue than that in movies since then, where you didn't complain. So that I don't get it. I'll go back and tell you. I don't know right
because
now.
every one of them, I've been like, it's a little bit. There's a lot of talking.
Wow.
The talking that was in the Spider-Man movie was perfect. I mean, it was. I don't like where they're talking and it's just like the whole Scarlett Johansson and Captain Black Widow and Captain America in the car. All that I was just like, oh my God, it was dragging on and on and on. It wasn't funny. It wasn't.
I didn't think so. I thought it was they were trying to build a character relationship. I'm good with that.
I don't care about relationship. I just want to see
that.
some action.
You can't have action 24/7. Anyway,
that's why I said this Spider-Man. It was perfect amount of dialogue.
The Spider-Man. Did you realize Andrew Garfield and Tobey? They were in their 30s playing a high school student. Did you realize that?
Right.
I mean, Maguire's in his 40s right now.
Andrew Garfield, I thought I liked those movies. It wasn't Tobey Maguire. Oh my God, it was the waste. I mean, we went to go see it because it was all we had.
Well, yeah, it was
because it was like, oh, Spider-Man.
It's Sony Spider-Man. Yeah, nobody else had it.
And then when they did the Andrew Garfield one, I thought it was even better than. It was way better.
They did start doing the comedy type stuff, but Tom Holland, he's 21 years old,
right?
And he's playing
I thought he just turned 20.
No,
he just turned 20.
He's 21.
Just turned 20.
I just looked it up today.
20 today.
What? Nope. But he's playing a 15-year-old in high school, which I thought he played the part very well for 15-year-old.
Yeah.
And I thought they portrayed exactly what high school students would be like if Ned found out he's his best friend Spider-Man, and the awkward. We're trying to go to a party and getting, plugged into the social pipeline. I'm so awkward and trying to get that first kiss and you just can't pull it off. And
then Ned's sitting there with the Spider-Man hat on.
That is hilarious. He puts the Spider-Man hat, the mask.
Wow. I said hat. He puts that on. He's just sitting there with his regular clothes on, because that's the only thing that could fit him,
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's, chubby.
I think the suit would have fit him. I think it shrink. You saw how big it was, and he shrank it in.
No, still wouldn't have fit. Nope. I think it was too small.
So next on the docket, we got Thor Ragnarok coming out November the 3rd.
And see, I think they really messed up on. You started to say something. I'm sorry, I interrupted.
No, I wasn't.
I think they messed up on showing too much.
Trailers?
Yes.
Maybe we should stop watching them.
I don't like to watch them. You always make me, but I don't. I mean, the hair thing, that should have been a surprise. They should not have shown
Okay,
that
let's
his
make
hair
a
was
pact.
cut.
We're going to stop watching trailers.
You won't?
I'll have to.
Okay.
So, I've already seen Black Panther. Okay, that's it. So, I did talk to you about Infinity. I read what they showed for Infinity War.
Dude, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, sounds pretty good. What was I going to say? I had something about the...
Ragnarok?
Oh, the trailer. I was right. The Iron Man flying beside Spider-Man as he's swinging was in a trailer, wasn't in the movie.
Well, that's common.
Which I thought I would have loved to have seen that. Anyway.
Yeah, that's common.
So we got Thor Ragnarok coming out, and then 2018 we've got Infinity War in May, and then Black Panther, and something else. I don't know what it is, but anyway.
Could you imagine a standalone Black Widow?
No. It would just, unless there was some, it would have to be totally in depth of her
Childhood, when she was a
training
kid.
and her assassin
Yeah.
career, and that's it. I mean,
I don't think I would
what
hate
else
that.
would you do?
That'd be kind of cool.
I think it could work, and then it would be a completely different character than what you see today.
Yeah, yeah.
She'd be dark, killing, whatever.
Well, I think
She's
it
an
would probably
assassin.
show her the innocence of her at first, and then the dark. That would be cool.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't hate that.
Who do you think you are? Well, let's go ahead and catch. I've got several stories I want to go over today on today's show
Okay.
that are, how I like to get your reaction for stories that are current in the culture. But let's go ahead and catch people up what we've been doing for the past couple of weeks.
Let's start the latest and go back because that's freshest on our mind.
We just drove back in from Gulf Shores yesterday. Mm-hmm. We went to the beach, which is where Gulf Shores lives.
It lives there.
We went to the shrimp basket. We ate shrimp.
That was so good.
Some good oysters there.
Dude, those oysters.
We spent a couple hours at Gulf State Park, the beach. Bentley had sand and rocks everywhere that we don't want to mention right here on the
No,
podcast.
I do want to mention it.
Oh.
I turned
Those
around.
balls.
Wow.
You said you...
I wasn't going to say that. Okay. I was just going to say he took off his shorts. Byron laid a towel down and he took off his shorts. And I have never seen, it wasn't just sand. That's the thing. It was rocks and shells, little tiny shells was in his swimsuit.
Right. In the mesh part.
see-
It's like a net.
Okay, let me tell you the difference in men and women. Okay, let me just explain the difference. So JC and I go into the bathroom, and JC takes off her swimsuit and dumps a crap load of sand and stuff out of her swimsuit.
Yeah.
So what does mom do? Mom picks her up, butt naked, on the sink. Okay, yeah, there's other people in there. I'm like, JC, it's just women. Women have seen. They don't care. It's just women.
There's no gender.
Of course, if it was Delori, it would be completely different because Delori is like very uber modest, which I am okay with. That is good. We're gonna work on JC, get her a little more modest, maybe. Anyway, so JC is one leg in the sink, and I'm getting water in my hand, flopping it up to get sand out of her creases. Okay, because she's got sand and creases in her nether regions.
Which normally people do.
Okay, so me and JC are in the bathroom. Byron and Bentley are in the bathroom. What is Byron doing? Byron is taking care of himself. He's changing his clothes. He's doing whatever Byron needs to do. Does he get Bentley to take off his swimsuit to dump the rocks and sand and shells out? No, he doesn't. Doesn't even get him to take his swimsuit off. That's the first thing I did was I got JC to take her swimsuit off and then rinsed all the sand out. And then we tried to get the sand out of the creases, but that wouldn't work. So we did the water thing. Byron didn't even get Bentley to take his swimsuit off. So my son is walking to the car with a crap ton of sand and shells in his nether regions.
Right. Did he notice that?
Of course he did.
No. Well, if he noticed it, he would have pulled it off. Here's the deal. I didn't check. I didn't go, hey, let's take your stuff off. He was going to change the car. I didn't know it was rocks and shells in his crack.
Well, you didn't even think. I mean, my goodness.
No, I didn't.
Byron.
Because he didn't say, hey, Dad, I got a rock in my crack. So if you don't tell me, I'm not going to know that you got a
Because
rock in your
you had
crack.
told him you've got to change in the car, son. You don't have
Right,
your
you don't have your
You don't have
clothes.
your clothes. You got to change in the car.
Are you doing a voice?
Yes,
Why-
that's you.
I don't have a voice like everybody's got a voice for
That's
each other.
my you. Anyway,
What's mine for you?
you better not have one.
What have you guessed? You don't know what it is?
I don't know. Anyway, so that I'm just saying that's
take the rocks out. It's so weird. You take the rocks out.
That's your voice.
no, it's not.
That's no, my voice for you is my voice. You
I'm
can't
done.
take that.
Okay.
You can't take that from me.
So anyway,
Here's the difference too. Yeah.
I like to
it's
kill
just-
bloody meat and eat it.
wow, that's true.
yeah.
But I like bloody meat because I like mine rare.
Yeah, raw.
Anyway, rare, not raw. Anyway, so that, and then this we've got to say we can't just go like that.
This is gonna be a long show.
We went to the USS Alabama. Me and a friend had a hotel room, Dottie. We got a hotel room, the chicks with JC, because women can't sleep on the USS Alabama. The Trail Life Troop went there.
Right.
So we went down there, and Byron and Bentley had a interesting evening on the USS Alabama.
Yes. Well, there was no sleep. We basically, it seemed like every 10 minutes, I would finally doze off, and then Bentley, first he was sleeping beside Cameron, head to head bunk, like this. And lights went out, not 5-10 minutes later, he's down, Dad, I want to sleep beside you. Okay. So, hey, that's fine with me. I don't care. He climbs in the bunk, and then he's looking around like a cat. Like every noise that is made, there's creaking, there's stuff going on all over. It's just noises, and he's looking around. They do have when the lights go out, there's this other light they turn on, these red lights, red lamps. I mean, if you're
Red Brom.
it's kind of creepy if you're looking around. You're like, what's going on here? Is it? So he's looking in the other compartment too, and it's dark. So everything's kind of creepy for him. So I get it.
Yeah.
And every noise he's looking around, he's like, just what was it? So he's I can't sleep. I want Mom. I want to go to the hotel. And I'm like, so do I, but we can't leave. God help us.
What's funny is 3
then-
years ago, it wasn't like that. 3 years ago, I wasn't down there. I was up here, so there was nowhere else for him to go.
So at some point he was like, can I climb in your bunk? Climbs in the bunk with me. Of course, I fill up the entire bunk. So I'm laying on my arm, and I feel like I got it amputated. And the shoulder, there's no feeling, and then there's this chain behind my head. I'm rubbing up against it. I feel like it's cutting into my scalp. I feel like I'm bleeding down my neck. And I'm like, Bentley, scoot over. I gotta relieve some pressure off of this gash. So it was just all night, and
I slept like a baby. No, I'm
yeah,
just kidding. I didn't.
wow.
I didn't sleep
So-
very well either because I had to get breakfast the
That
next
was
morning.
the USS Alabama.
Yeah. Byron said he's done with that. That's the second time he went. He'll go again.
And I think we just need to do another ship. I heard there's one in Louisiana, the USS Kidd, and there's the USS Wisconsin up north on the East Coast. So,
we just try to stay closer because, driving.
well, I've done it twice. I know where I can take you on the tour and give you everything on that ship.
Yeah, the LPD 1 is not available.
What was LPH?
No, I'm saying the LPD 1.
Oh,
Are you
what's
talking about the Raleigh?
Yeah.
The USS Raleigh was LPD 1.
I thought it was LPH.
Wrong.
Oh, we got to look that up.
Well,
now.
you can. I just looked it up the other day.
Did you really?
I was
LPD.
showing. Yeah, that was what Byron was on, the USS Raleigh, when he was in the Gulf War, which was almost about to be decommissioned, and then they okay, well, let's go and use it since it's the war. Broke down several times,
Broke down and busted.
which they didn't mention in Wikipedia. But anyway,
Oh, they didn't?
not that it broke down. They mentioned the Oman, the Oman
It was Omar, too, yeah.
training and stuff like that.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
and why couldn't they just put it on the coast and let it be something that people can walk through?
Yeah.
Instead, they used it for target practice and destroyed it, and now it's at the bottom of the ocean.
Wow.
Weird.
I need to scuba dive. Maybe I left something on there.
You might have.
I know what it was. I lost Bernie's His what was that thing called?
Game Boy.
His Game Boy. How did I lose that on a ship?
Kabirian.
We called him Bernie.
Yeah. Somebody stole it.
Yeah, it was missing.
Yeah.
I mean, it just came up missing. It was ridiculous.
Somebody stole it.
Anyway.
It was your fault. You should have bought him another one.
USS Alabama, we drove in from Kansas City spending a week. And so let's rewind.
Okay, so yeah.
So the reason we're USS Alabama, we just drove in this past Thursday evening, spent one day here, packed up, and drove to Mobile Saturday, and now we're exhausted.
What'd you do Friday?
Friday, I slept.
Really?
What do you mean?
Wow.
Is that? Oh yeah, we went and saw Tim Hawkins. My God, it's so bundled. It's like,
Yeah.
Susan surprised me with tickets that I had no idea she got to see Tim Hawkins, which is a great comedian. That I was in
Hilarious.
stitches. I was coughing up lungs.
It was horrible. I mean, I looked over and I could tell Byron was trying to contain himself.
Yeah, at some point, I'm like, I'm about not to be able to breathe.
Because I thought you were going to throw up because you were laughing so hard and then you started coughing. I thought you were going to throw up, and I did pee a little.
Yeah,
when he was talking about his mom.
I didn't pee, but I was hacking.
I've never done that before. I've always, run to the bathroom.
The dude is talented, man. He came out, opened up the show with guitar. I don't know what he's playing, but it was just shredding.
Dude.
He loves to shred it. He's a classic rock fan, so he's just picked it up and I'm like, he could have his own band.
Yeah, what fun is that? He's doing what he loves to do. He loves to be a comedian.
But he could probably sell albums with that kind of, because he could play. He sounds like he could go toe to toe with anybody.
Oh yeah, I mean he was like tearing up some Prince and doing some GNR.
Yeah, and
awesome.
He makes songs up like Weird Al does, and it's pretty funny.
Yeah. So we spent from when to when with Delory.
Well, Delory drove in from Tampa. Because they were visiting Alex's parents in Tampa. They drove in.
They flew into Tampa, rented a car, and
drove here, and they were going to go back to Kansas City because they spent a week with them, right?
Yeah, well, they spent not a week. It was just like 4 days or something. And as soon as they drove in, we met them at the.
As soon as we drove in, met them at the airport, picked them up, and headed to Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Yeah.
So it's been a whirlwind. I just need to lay down for a minute.
I know. That's what today when I was trying to work, I was sitting there. I got to take a nap.
So
took 3 naps today, about 20-minute naps.
Let's get a little power naps.
That was horrible. I couldn't
heard
stay
the
awake.
Workforce, you need those.
Yeah.
2005.
I think Italy, they do that in Italy, I think.
I know they do. I mean, they're in Plymouth, England. They're drinking at 10 in the morning in pubs.
Like drinking alcohol?
Yes.
At 10 in the morning?
Ship. Yes, we got off the ship. And we're hitting the bars or whatever. And
he kissed a girl.
I kissed a girl and she didn't like it. She didn't.
Right. Oh, but the other one did?
I don't know.
You stepped into something.
I don't know. She may have. I don't know. I didn't. So here's the deal. Where's that tangent from? Oh, you're talking. Anyway, yeah, they're drinking at 10 in the morning in pubs.
You're getting a little nervous, aren't you?
I lost it.
Getting nervous.
So they drove in. They spent like 4 days here.
No, they spent 1 day here.
1 day here, and then we've also gotten in an accident.
Yeah.
Our new minivan has got crushed from the rear.
We didn't talk about that. We haven't.
It's been totaled, and the reason I was saying that is because we had a Ford Expedition rental that the insurance company was paying for. So we loaded up and said, you know what? Let's just keep renting the vehicle. Let's drive them to Kansas City so that we could spend some more time with them.
Yeah, because that was the deal anyway. That's what we were going to do.
We were going to take
minivan.
our van.
Yeah, and so the minivan story.
Wow, there's so much.
Yeah, a dude.
That's why we need to do a weekly show. We can't keep up with this stuff. Our lives.
A dude hit me in the rear end, going about 70 miles an hour. He told the police that he was looking in his backpack for a pen and paper. Why you're doing that, I don't know, because he had his cell phone in his hand. Bentley saw him, and I saw him. He was
what's
banging
the
his steering
difference?
wheel. He was
Is it because if you told him about the phone, I'm maybe in trouble, but if I'm looking for pen and paper in the backpack, I could be okay because there's no law against that.
There's no law against on your phone yet.
I thought it was.
No, not yet.
What?
Which
in
should
some
be.
states there are.
Yeah, in some states, not here. But anyway, so he brand new minivan. Well, it was new to us. It was a 2015.
We haven't made a payment on it.
Not one payment. We bought it on May the 10th, and it was totaled on June the 14th. When the tow truck guy came to get the minivan, I was like, I don't know what to do. Where should I have it taken? You need to go ahead and get everything out of it, because you'll never see this van again.
And I like how he called you honey.
Yeah.
And you weren't offended.
That's what, because I ain't no feminist
well, I mean,
or whatever.
sexist,
I like it.
Honey.
I was like, I started, I kind of melted down then. I was just like, yeah, because I was very upset. I mean, Cookie, that was our van, and I loved it. Me and the kids had, prayed it in, and we were very happy. But God's got something else better for us. I know that.
And it may be in silver.
No, it's not in silver.
Wait. That makes no sense to me at all. If God's got something better for it,
Doesn't
you're
want
going to
us to
turn
have
that down. God doesn't do silver.
No, he only does gold. I don't want gold either.
Oh, that's right. The gold
I had
streets.
black. It was Attitude Black. It had little blue
Midnight
flecks.
blue.
It was beautiful. It had little flecks of blue in it. It was so pretty. And it had the DVD player and all that kind of stuff. And
Yeah, it was
we were going to
perfect.
take it on trips, and everything was,
Yeah, we were going to Kansas City with it.
And we didn't.
Science!
We didn't even
Oh, the
mention.
echo in here. I love it.
Yeah, the weekend after the accident, that was our first little trip.
Yeah, we're
in
going
our
to take a road trip.
We were going to go to Nashville because
Right,
it was,
we're going to see Dan
Bentley's-
TDM.
it was Bentley's birthday.
There's so much has happened.
When people post, like if we post something on Facebook or whatever, people are like, "Oh my gosh," you don't realize it until you start talking
we're
about
talking.
it.
I'm like, we've done so much since the last show,
Yeah.
and the show we did was in May, so we missed a couple of months. But it is months too. But
So
whatever.
Dan TDM is a YouTuber
YouTuber.
that Bentley loves. That he watches him play video games on YouTube. That's what he does. He
I
plays.
wonder if we would get more hits if we did that.
He has over 15 million subscribers.
Right.
That is a lot
So
of
what
little
would be?
kids
So
watching.
should we play video games while we're doing the podcast?
Yes.
Is that how we're going to get subscribers
Yes.
and maybe finally monetize this thing?
Yes. That's what we should do.
I just
I
can't
don't
do
think.
it.
No, because he
I mean, I have
talks
hard enough
nonstop.
time. Well, we talk nonstop.
No, but I mean, he talks nonstop.
While he's doing, yeah.
Right. While
Well, we're
he's
the same way.
Yeah, but I mean,
I have
okay,
a
well,
hard enough
dadgummit,
time.
let's do it.
I have a hard time drinking my coffee and water here.
Yeah.
There's no way I can play a video game.
Well, he cuts it. He edits it. He edits. Oh, don't let Bentley hear you say
I don't know
that.
if he heard me say that. I make fun of his accent because he's from England, and Bentley doesn't. He can't stand it.
No, he gets very upset.
When he says he
says here, and it's here.
I
Anyway, he does. I love him too.
think they heard me because I saw him through the window. Anyway. Uh-oh.
I love him because he goes to hospitals and sees little kids with cancer and stuff like that. And so he seems like a really good guy, and little kids love him. So
Oh, definitely. He's got a market.
when we went to go see Dan TDM, this dude was sold out everywhere. The guy behind us was from Atlanta. He had a show in Atlanta the night before he had the show in Nashville, and the dude didn't get a ticket. So he had to drive from Atlanta to Nashville to go see Dan TDM. We did too, but he didn't come to
The reason
Birmingham.
we mentioned that was going to be our first road trip in our van. It got totaled. We had to rent a Ford Expedition, so we had that for like
3
a
weeks.
month.
Yeah.
3 weeks. So fortunately, they paid for it. Most of it. We had to rent for like a week
Yeah, the
to
last
take
part of it.
Delory and Alex back to Kansas City. So we drove to Kansas City. We spent like a week out there, right?
4
Has
days.
it been 4 days? Okay. So
Wasn't
that
it
was
4
so we
days?
got to see the church in full motion.
Yes.
Chapel KC. Mm-hmm. So they are blowing and going. We saw the setup at the school. They got a sweet place the school reminds me of a school you'd see in a movie. These huge schools you see, the John Hughes movies,
Breakfast Club,
all those. Yeah, the Breakfast Club. I don't know where the high school is at, but this high school it was Turner High School.
Yeah.
That they were at, and it was huge. It had an upstairs, had a pool inside.
It was really nice. It was real clean and
clean,
really nice.
It wasn't run down or whatever, like my school was. Go Tigers. But they've got the set up the nursery, the kids' place. They've got a system going, and it's really awesome. We got to see our daughter lead worship for the first time.
I was just doing there.
She was singing. It was pretty awesome and amazing. Alex is over there just jamming on the bass.
Yeah,
he's got this rock move. He's got this one rock move. He's in the zone.
Nice.
Anyway, so that was a great trip. That leads us where?
That's it.
Back here.
We're done.
And then. That's twice she's taken the headphones off and decided to quit. And then next week, we've got a week here at the house, and then next week we're going back to Dallas.
We got 2 weeks here at the house.
Is it 2 weeks? Why do I think it's a week and then we're gone?
It's this week.
Well, that's what. Okay, this year, right? 2 weeks, and then the last week of July, first week of August, we're going to the
Dallas Fort Worth. I can't wait. Southwest
Dallas,
Believers
Fort
Convention.
Worth?
Well, it's Fort Worth. Actually, it's Fort Worth, which is
the Believers.
Dallas Fort Worth is
I
like.
always want to say the Believers' Voice of Victory, but it's not called that.
It's like Raleigh Durham. It's like there's two cities. It would be like Birmingham Trussville if Trussville was big as Birmingham.
Believers' Voice of what is it?
It's the Southwest
Believers Conference Convention.
Wow.
Okay, so Southwest, because it is at the Southwest, they have them all over, and they name them according to the location they're at.
Right.
So it is a believers convention.
Yes.
So
it's
what
gonna
are the believers? So what do we believe? Believers. What does that mean?
Jesus. Okay, the boys.
Convention.
We used to call them the boys.
Well, because they ran into packs, and they still do.
Kenneth Copeland, Jerry Savelle, Jesse Duplantis, Bill Winston, Creflo Dollar, Keith Moore is the ones that I can remember.
They've added, because it used to be just three of them.
No, Creflo was always Bill Winston.
They've added him. When they first started, it was just the three. Creflo came on board.
Yeah.
I never knew Bill Winston got on board.
No, Bill Winston he's.
What about Mac Hammond?
No, he's not going to be there.
What about Crank?
No.
Love to see those guys.
Yeah, well,
those guys in full fledged.
We'll have to. So,
99.5,
because I was
the Buzzard.
sitting there a couple of months ago,
we gotta hurry.
And I was watching. I watch the
You're
song.
gonna get to my stories.
I watch BVOV all the time. BVOVN, Believers Voice of Victory Network. I watch it like all the time.
You're watching the Believers Voice of Victory Network.
What? Sing a
My
song.
hair is awesome. I know my God
has made a way
for me. I know my God.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Anyway. So it's their
I don't have that
50th
album.
year. It's their 50th year in ministry.
Kenneth Copeland Ministries is celebrating 50 years of ministry.
And what amazes me is people that I talk to, like I was talking to Jim and Melanie.
Oh, do we have to cut that out?
No.
Because all you were going to say,
people don't care.
Jim and Nellie.
Right, and not Melanie. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Jim and Melanie.
That's a Freudian slip.
I was talking to Jim and Melanie, and I was asking them, do you know so-and-so? Do you know so-and-so?
Who?
Do you know so-and-so? Well, Bill Johnson. Do you know Bill Johnson?
Johnson?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, from Bethel.
Right. I was like, do you know Bill Johnson? No. Do you know, I said, I was talking about Lance Wallnow, and I said, he kind of runs in the circles of like,
Bill
Johnson. I was like, I don't want to say.
What was that other girl?
The Pat,
Yeah.
Oh, golly! He hates science!
oh my gosh. What is her name?
Patricia King.
Yes, that. I mentioned her, and they were like, I don't know who that is.
See, that is a different camp.
Right.
It's that flowing. It's
more
not,
of a
it's
prophetic.
Not, it's not the Kenneth Copeland camp.
Right. It's not the faith.
But they all believe the same.
Right. Except for they run along the more prophetic.
Right. They're going to have the fire ring.
Yeah. They're going to have the flecks of gold.
Yes.
Coming down.
Yeah. Angel flakes.
Food. Yeah.
Yes. Angel food and
okay.
honey glory.
So it's funny because it's like I was talking to somebody else and I was like, yeah, do you know Jerry Savelle? And they're like, I was like, Jesse Duplantis, no, Creflo Dollar?
Stephen Furtick.
Oh, yeah, I know him. Joel Osteen. Oh, yeah, that guy. I know him. I don't like him.
I can't believe his bathroom's that big.
Yeah, anyway.
That was a Tim Hawkins joke.
Yeah.
He said that on stage.
Well, no, he was talking about he
said the stage. Oh, this looks like Joel Osteen's bathroom.
Yeah.
Which
I
it
like
did,
Joel
actually.
Osteen.
It's really that black. I hate, look.
He doesn't minister to me, but I like him.
Put that in the, put a pin in it. Let's get to my stories real quick, because we got about 20 minutes. Was there anything else to cover? Cover!
Puberty!
Cover!
No. No.
Because that's where we're going at the end of this month. And we'll, I guess we could update ministry. We could have a ministry update.
Oh, yeah.
After we get back.
We're going to be so super spiritual. It is like morning, noon, and night. I mean, just like, we're just sleep in the hotel, and we'll never go back to the hotel after we wake up, because it'll be morning, noon, and night.
What about the pool?
No pool. We'll be in the pool of the, jumping into the, what is it? The river. The river of God.
The river of the Holy Ghost.
Yes, that's the only pool we're going to be jumping into.
Speaking of the Holy Ghost.
Nope.
This just in. An American Airlines had to evacuate all of its passengers because somebody farted.
You a story.
Okay, I'll have to. Yes. Well, this is the headline. No, a fart didn't cause American Airlines, but that's how the story started. I kid you not, and I'm about to tell you about it. American Airlines flight had to evacuate all of its passengers, okay? In today's, quote, not the Onion news, you know what the Onion is, right?
Oh, yeah, I know what the Onion is.
An American Airlines flight supposedly had to evacuate all its passengers after a person passed gas, causing violent episodes of nausea and headaches.
Oh, my gosh.
I love that description. Violent episodes of nausea and headaches.
I can understand nausea.
Violent diarrhea.
I can understand nausea, but headaches?
Well,
how do you get headaches from?
Well, here's the reason. Except it said it's not true. The story, which originally appeared on local WNCN TV, quotes an unidentified spokesperson with Raleigh, Durham.
You heard it here first,
Lena. International Airport as saying that all passengers were taken off the plane after it landed around 4 p.m. And this is an excerpt of the website. It's a CBS affiliate, WNCN. Passed gas forces passengers from plane at RDU, spokesperson says.
Gas.
So that story ran, okay? What it says, a person who passed gas on an American Airlines plane on Sunday afternoon forced all the passengers off the jet, officials said. Talk about fake news. How did you run with this story without getting your sources right?
Wow.
But here's my thing. If somebody did fart and get people off the plane, that is my hero. Because, that's like a superpower. It's like the spleen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Pull my finger.
Spleen. It is exactly.
Pull it.
No, thank you.
Come on.
Okay.
So, hold on.
Gas.
The alleged incident started when passengers on the flight became ill. I wish Jeff was here on the show right now. This story would be great.
This is right up his alley.
With nausea and headaches spurred by a foul-smelling odor in the cabin. However, American Airlines spokesman Ross Feinstein, or Stein,
Jewish,
categorically declined this report. Feinstein told Mashable that the flight was not evacuated, and the story is not true. He said the plane had an odor issue, but that was due to a mechanical fault. Not passed gas.
A mechanical fart?
Yes. He said, we did have an aircraft from Charlotte to RDU this afternoon that landed at 2:19 and arrived at the gate at 2:21. That is currently out of service for actual mechanical issue, the odor in the cabin.
Wow.
But it's not due to past gas, as mentioned, Feinstein said. A spokesperson at the airport, Andrew Sawyer, also confirmed that the plane was not evacuated, and the whole incident was about a passenger who had was not evacuated, and said the whole incident was about a passenger who had to receive medical help after the foul smell.
Okay, so one person needed medical help because of the foul smell.
Right. A medical call for somebody overcome by odor was received after the plane deplaned normally.
See, that's the thing. That's exactly what's wrong.
And see, somebody
today.
else on the Telegraph said, here's the headline: passenger taken off plane after somebody passes gas.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man, that would have been great if somebody passed gas and they had to get off.
Did you ever go to my mom's room when she was in that home?
I'm sorry, what?
Remember when my mom
was
was
in
in
a
that
home?
home? Yeah, when she was getting therapy for her leg, that rehab
I don't
place.
want to talk about this right now.
Did you ever go there?
Did I?
I don't know, but
I don't remember her being in a home.
yeah, she was in the home that was right across the street from Medical Center East.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Did you remember that woman that was in that room with her?
I don't. Please don't.
Okay,
I don't want memories because I may start to smell something.
dude,
I know my God.
dude, that was. You want to talk about the worst smell I've ever smelled come out of a human? That was the worst
She was
smell.
passing gas.
And what happened was, me and my dad went to go see my mom, and we went in. We were there for a little bit, and that woman, I think she poops like on herself or whatever, and it smelled so bad. It was like me and my dad had to leave. I mean, it was just like I wanted to throw up. And
Wow.
so we left, and as we were leaving, my brother Jay was walking to go see my mom. And
How you doing, Jay?
we didn't tell him. And like a little bit later, I texted him, and he was like, yeah, thanks for the warning. Because I'm telling
What you need is the stuff that you go on crime scenes with, and you like put your
yeah,
I
like
don't know what
Vicks
they-
Vapor Rub. Yeah, so I could see that somebody.
How about
could
Tim
smell
Hawkins talked about
that
Vicks
bad.
Vapor Rub the other night?
Yeah, he said it was
He's
what was it, peppermint mixed with gasoline or
yeah,
something?
something like that. He was like, "How am I supposed to sleep with this?"
Yeah. It's just not as funny when we say it.
I know he had to be there. It's
because he has
maybe we
talent.
should get it together and then deliver it well. It's all about delivering timing.
It's because, like he said, I have something that you don't
I got a microphone and talent. I've got talent
for other things.
for other stuff. She doesn't think I can get up and do stand up. That's what it is.
I think he thinks he
I
can.
know my God.
And people are like this, oh, you're so funny, you should do stand up. But it would be like SpongeBob.
You don't know that.
How about those forks? Hey, if that's
Dude,
your dream,
you
I'm not
don't
crushing your
know
dream.
that.
If that's
Well,
your
here's the
dream,
deal.
do it.
They don't just
Do
get
it.
up there and go and fly by the seat of their pants.
I know.
I mean, and if I wanted to get up there and put together some written material and go through it, I could do that.
Do it.
So whatever.
Do it. Open mic night at
I've already tried to do that,
No.
and you said I ain't showing up.
Well,
I ain't showing up. That's my voice for her.
so funny.
I know my. Okay, we gotta get it. We gotta go.
Why? Is there some kind of laws that's governing our? Is there a law here?
Actually, no, there's not.
I mean,
But
right?
here, I want to be respectful of people's time, and I try to keep the podcast at an hour.
Right, that's great. So at 1 hour we can see. Okay, we're done. Bye.
But I really want to get these stories. That's number 4. She's taking
That was
the
3.
headphones off.
3.
I know, my God. Okay, next up in the news factory, doctors remove 27 contact lenses from a woman's eye.
I believe it. Tell me.
Okay, well, now this one here is kind of sad because she's 67 years old. Okay,
She have Alzheimer's.
they were readying her for cataract surgery in November and discovered a bluish mass in one of her eyes. It was actually 17 contact lenses mashed together.
Does she have Alzheimer's?
I don't know. The woman unsurprisingly reported discomfort in her peeper. Who wrote this? Come on. Why'd you put peeper? The guy's name's David Moy. Okay.
Okay.
He broke peeper. But figured it was because of dry eye and old age. That's what she thought. It was discomfort. But As bad as it sounds to have 17 lenses stuck together in your eye, the specialist trainee ophthalmologist RuPaul Majora.
RuPaul, really?
What did I say?
That's RuPaul.
Oh, that's right. Told the website the doctors eventually found 10 additional individual contact lenses in the same eye. All of the lenses were monthly disposable contacts that the woman forgot about. We were really surprised that the patient didn't notice this because it would cause quite a lot of irritation while I was sitting there. So the cataract surgery was postponed to avoid the increased risk of eye infection due to the bacteria around the patient's conjunctiva. I don't know how to say that. Conjunctiva?
See,
What do you're over there.
because this is the thing. Anytime
Why
I
does she
hear
keep-
stuff like this,
Put it on and on and on.
okay, now let me tell you, I've had 2 contacts in my eye before. I've had 2 in my eye. 17, there's no way in the world that a woman had 17 disposable contacts
Are you calling fake
on one eye.
news?
I'm calling fake news, number one, because there's no way. There's no way she could have 17 contacts in one eye.
Hey, it's on the Huffington Post. It's got to be true, right?
Right. Number 2.
Fake news.
Number 2. Okay, so what doctor did she go see before she had
Because
the
don't you have
cataract?
to have all that and do an exam?
Exactly.
Something's up with this.
Exactly.
We need to contact this David Moy guy.
Because I think he's smoking crack.
The crack. What if they're just making stuff? Because I get this from the weird section. What if they're just making this stuff up just to try to be weird? It's not true at all.
See, that's the thing about getting
I
stuff
know,
on the
my
internet. God, we live in such a different society today. It just is, it's disheartening.
Well, I mean, what would you do? Talk about the goats in the back pen?
Now, listen, because I looked at something today and I was reading this article and I was kind of interested in it. I was like, okay. And then I saw they spelled security wrong. And I'm like,
In the article?
in the article, they spelled security wrong.
It seems like my Grammarly would pick that up.
Right? So what kind of article is this that the person that's writing it spells security wrong? You know?
That is weird.
Yeah.
And I would have blew right past that and not even thought about it.
Right. Well, see,
Security.
yeah. So
Talk about an editor.
there's no way you can. When I had 2 contacts on my eye, I was like, I mean, it's like, it hurts. It hurts. There's no way she could. 17.
Well, she said she thought it was just discomfort from age
There's
or
dude.
irritation. I'm old. My eyes hurt. That's just normal.
I mean, just
My gosh.
there's no way.
Can I get some eye flush?
Have you seen
That's
how
my voice
thick
for
they are?
old ladies.
If anybody